Hey everybody, it's Party Elite. Welcome you back to another episode of our Planet Zoo franchise mode Let's Play, where we're going to be diving into Elite Zoo North and taking care of our newly added enclosure right from the get-go. We're going to have a bit of a time lapse right at the beginning, actually, I think. So for those of you that are always looking for time lapses, well, we're starting with one today. Before we do that, though, just want to mention, as I always do, folks, if you've been enjoying this series and you would like to see it continue, please don't hesitate to let me know by leaving a like and a comment down below. Not only do I look at the number of likes and comments to get a quick understanding of interest levels of what people want to see on the channel, more or less of, but I also do read through all the comments to see all your feedback, your thoughts, your jokes, your ideas, your just everything. I enjoy reading through the comments a lot, and many times they point out important things that I've somehow managed to miss. For example, as is maybe the most blatant example today, the fact that the tigers can actually escape. Now, the thing is, they can't escape the pit that they're in, but they can escape what technically counts as their barrier. But this doesn't matter, actually, because we're going to be changing all this up. There's a lot of work that I still want to do for this enclosure, including reworking the sculpture, but I'll get into that as I get the time-lapse started. But yeah, so as I was saying, if you've been enjoying, let me know, folks. Leave a like, leave a comment. It really does make a very, very big difference. Much like this cleanliness issue is about to make a very big difference. Why are we having... Oh, you know what? I know why we're having these issues. All right, I'm going to do one thing before I get into... call a keeper before I get into the time lapse, and that is that I'm just going to get a couple of keepers in here. Well, we need to, you know what, now that I'm here as well, let's go ahead and extend our hours too. This has been mentioned since we finally did some lighting. Let's go ahead and extend our hours a little bit. Oh my god. Let's open at 5. Sure, 5 to 10. And also actually quite a few things were mentioned in the comments that I should maybe consider doing. For example, upping the adult price while reducing the child price a bit more might give us a better balance. So let's try that out. We'll see how people feel about that. Anyway, sorry, I keep getting distracted. My apologies. I meant to get some more keepers because we added so many new oh god, what's the word? Like exhibits, like small animal exhibits here, but we didn't add enough keepers to take care of them. So let's go ahead, and we've got a bunch in America's South. Got America's North covered. America's East. America's West only has 2. So maybe we get 2 more for America's West, right? That should do the trick, I think. And we can afford them. So 1 and 2. Let's go ahead and give you guys your work zone. America's West, yes. Drop your salary a little bit. And we do have to do a little bit of training as well, but we'll take care of that later. We'll leave management for later. And maybe we actually end up having 2 time lapses today. One right at the beginning and then one later on. I'll try to, at least, because there is a lot I'd like to get done. The India section is our focus right now, between the tigers and the Moria Plaza and whatever else we'll be doing over here. But I do also want to get the Africa section going soon, because as I've said, I was hoping to grow the Africa and India sections at roughly the same time, so we have a lot of variety going on. Because I've been receiving requests for animals from both sides. Or from both, continents or subcontinents or whatever it might be. So I'm going to try and meet all those demands and desires. Let's see. So with all this done, we've got this cleanliness issue being taken care of, no problem. We've got, that's fine. Ignore the polar bears for now. Oh, I do love how, like, the vast majority of responses with regards to getting the polar bears again was no. We have PTSD from the huge financial downfall or near downfall of our zoo. I guess it was a downfall. We bounced back from it, but fair enough. We'll hold off on the polar bears for a little bit longer as well, because yeah, maybe it's a little premature at 100K to start thinking about those polar bears. Anyway, let's go ahead and adjust the time because it's a little dark. So let's go ahead and adjust the time over here. Good old fashioned Time Lord that we are. There we go. And yeah, let's get to work. All right, it is the first of 2 time lapses today. We do end up doing 2 separate time lapses. This first one, quite a bit of work gets done with regards to, as you can see, first of all, adjusting this barrier. We make some changes to our sculpture as well. Actually, end up spending a fair bit of time on the sculpture. Unfortunately, you can see, because I adjusted the barrier there, the animals were marked as escaped, which we'll deal with later. But for now, doing everything I can do that doesn't deal with the whole terrain requirements and all that kind of stuff. You can see over here, I've decided to put down a keeper hut, and I also decided to put down a, I believe I eventually decided to put down a power generator over here as well, because it's a little out of the way. It's not going to bother our guests, and it becomes a bit more convenient for our keepers and stuff in terms of feeding not just the Bengal tiger right now, but also other animals down the line that are in this area. It's a nice, easy, and close connection. And what I was thinking, I noticed, I realized this the night of me recording, that what I could have done is I could have tucked away the barrier entrance in this, like, you know, archway kind of a situation. So a bit of a foolish moment for myself, not realizing that I could have done that, but that's what fatigue kind of does to you when you get a little tired from recording and whatnot. You start to miss the, you know, what might seem otherwise obvious. You start to miss it, but yeah, it's a very clean solution. It gets rid of that hideousness that many of you commented on, and I don't disagree at all. It was really ugly, and I didn't know what I was going to do with it, but it gets rid of that finally, and it allows the keeper to have quick and easy access to the keeper hut. It's a bit of a longer trip from, you know, the like trade center and from the vet clinic and stuff, but that's not the end of the world. Those are used, you know, once in a blue moon. It's the keeper hut's used often, so I think that's going to work fine. You can see over here, meanwhile, just kind of smoothing out some of these ridges, making sure it all looks as nice as possible. Might go in later again and just change the way it's textured and stuff like that as well. And you can see here, I'm just fidgeting about with like the emergency capture, but unfortunately, nothing I do will reveal to me the information that I need, so I decide to ignore that for now. We'll do it in a separate time lapse, and now we're going to start adjusting the sculpture a little bit. So I'm kind of using my own tigers here as reference points. There were a couple of issues. Many of you pointed out some things that was very helpful. Again, constructive feedback is always welcome, so never be worried about providing me that. No need to apologize about giving constructive feedback either. A lot of interesting points were pointed out. I noticed some things as well when I was looking back at it afterwards to try and make my own judgment calls as well. So something many of you pointed out is that this thing needs ears. That really helps a cat look like a cat, so we do get to work on that. But I also noticed that the lower jaw needed to be a bit smaller, and it also had a bit of an underbite, which many of you pointed out too. So I decided to fix the underbite. I decided to extend the bridge of the nose as well, because the bridge was really short when I initially finished that pause was me looking at some references. The bridge was really short when I initially finished it, so I extended it, except right now I've extended it a bit too much, and that becomes very obvious in a moment's time. So it still doesn't really look quite right, but don't worry, we will be fixing it. And you can see me kind of like trying to figure out what's wrong, because like, again, we're using rock pieces and the limitations of the game, so it's never going to be perfect, and I accept that. However, there was something that felt very wrong, and I couldn't quite place it. So you'll see I keep kind of jumping around, solving separate problems, different problems. I go back and forth, and I every once in a while check the profile, because I know there's something wrong with the profile. I just couldn't put my finger on it. I couldn't put my finger on the nose, but I eventually come to realize what the issue is. And again, you know, every once in a while, pulling back, checking symmetry. Again, it's not going to be perfect, but does it look close-ish? Does the form look right? You know, from all directions, look separately. I really like how the new nose is looking. Kind of has that kind of puffy, rounded nose look that tigers often have, and you know, felines often have. And turning that rock piece around, I think, gives us a much nicer snout shape. So very happy with how that's come along. And really, I don't mind spending the extra time on things like this when it's this much of an undertaking. I was worried, and I'll be completely frank, at the beginning of this time lapse, when I started making edits, I was just like, man, maybe this isn't that great. I was feeling really down on myself. I don't know why. I think it's because of one of the earlier changes I made that I felt, but I couldn't identify right away. You can see me adding a few more flat pieces to really get those harsher shapes and edges that make it feel a bit more like chiseled, a bit more like a sculpture. I really like how it feels a lot more, but you can see it's got, in my opinion at least, it's got very canine features now. And that is obviously like the opposite of what we actually want. We want feline features, not canine features. And again, that's it keeps bothering me. And I keep adding more, I guess, filler, I suppose, if you will, to the top there. And I'm like, that's not doing the trick. What's the problem? It looks like a wolf. So I go back to my reference animal over here to just try to figure out what's going on. Still no answer for myself, so I decide to fix something else that was pointed out. I make more space in the eyes there, and now you can see I go in with the ears as well, just using the same rock piece but bending it and curving it so that it feels like a cup, like cat ears do, or like feline ears do. So yeah, just getting that shape in there, massaging it, making sure it looks right, and then duplicating it. I make some more adjustments to it later as well because, again, it just doesn't feel perfect. So I'll be going in and making some more changes to it. And you can see every once in a while I go back and I go, okay, what am I doing wrong? Rather than Alt Tab or have Chrome open on a different window, and rather than just using my image references, I'm also using the game for references every once in a while. But yeah, small adjustments to try and make it feel better because the lighting really makes the difference of the two sides stand out. Like the asymmetry stands out a lot because of how it's currently lit. So I'm noticing a lot of blemishes and issues that I want to definitely clean up. So you'll see me kind of, nudging rocks around. And I think now's about the time when I realize, no, we're still not there yet. I still haven't come to terms with what the issue is. You can see I'm just adding more rocks to, again, get that chiseled shape looking, chiseled shape going, sorry. Chiseled shape look going, I think is what I was going for there. And again, pulling the terrain in and out. Because the terrain, when it's got the right texture and it's fitted in nicely, it does do a very good job of kind of blending the lumpy rocks with the terrain. So pretty happy with how that kind of works. But still using the rocks to add some of the actual texture and dimensionality. I think now is when I realize, okay, so now I start to fix the mouth area. And first I think, okay, you know what? The roar has got to be bigger. Because when these animals roar, their mouths really get massive. So I was like, all right, that's the solution. We got to make it a little bit bigger. So you can see it's a bit of an undertaking. Again, got to move the terrain, got to move all the rock pieces separately. Thankfully, I'm able to mostly rotate a giant chunk of it, and it all works nicely together. It all shifts nicely together. So it's not like a complete redo. But, I basically have to adjust every other rock that I place down. And I was like, all right, this is feeling better, but still feeling very canine. Is it because of the literal canines? I don't know. But now it feels even more like a wolf now. I was like, what's going on here? What am I doing wrong? I felt so good about it at the end of last session, but now I can't get this sense of it looking like a dog out of my head. And so again, you can see I step away from it. Like I said last time, every once in a while when you get bogged down by something, this is like how I live my life. You get bogged down by something, you take a step away, you pretend it doesn't exist, you deal with something else that you can solve, because then you feel like, all right, I accomplished something, and you feel a lot better. You go back to the thing that was bothering you, and you just feel better, you remotivate yourself, and you might actually solve the problem. My 2 cents. That's how I approach things. So you can see here, again, I'm starting to realize, okay, you know what? The tiger doesn't have that much of a dip at the bridge of its nose. Maybe that's the problem. You can see my thought process here. And it's kind of funny for me looking back at it. And that's when I figure it out. I extended the top far too much. I gave a really long snout, and that's what gave it a very canine look. That's what made it look like a wolf or a dog. And so I pushed that snout right back in, and that's basically all it took. I think I go ahead and I adjusted a bit more later. I think I nudged it in a bit more just to quote unquote perfect it. Again, nothing's perfect, but you know what I mean. So yeah, here I go again, just checking. I'm like, all right, yeah, that's feeling right. I think so, at least. Maybe I'm crazy. Maybe it was just me accepting defeat without realizing it. But I think reducing the length of the snout really made a world of difference. So y'all let me know what you think about the updated tiger sculpture. Now it comes time for the name. And I got so many amazing name suggestions, so many excellent puns, so many excellent ideas. So I apologize if yours isn't the one that was picked, but this one came through. And between this being the Cave of Wonders and my love for Aladdin and the linguistic reference as well, we got Bagraba. So again, Bag is tiger in Hindi, and Agrabah, if you've seen the Aladdin, then you know what Agrabah is. And the Cave of Wonders, which is the inspiration for the sculpture, is from Aladdin. So I was just like, oh man, there's a winner. And there were a couple of winners in the comments. Another one that caught my eye was I'd Raja see a tiger, like Raja from the Aladdin. Anyway, sorry, I digress. Lots of great name suggestions. Keep them coming, folks, when the opportunity presents itself. But Bagraba, it is. Loving it. And you can see I'm working on something a little different here. And this is something I theorized last night. I was like, this should work. If this lighting engine is worth its weight in salt, this should work. And it does. It works exactly how I wanted it to. So we've got the spotlight shining into this glass roof element, and it just creates this glow, this like vibrant orange light source that just like, oh, I was so happy when this worked. It's hard to see in a time lapse, but there was a full like, I think 20 seconds of me just staring at it going like, oh my God, it worked. Now how do I nail this? Because just because it works, it's not good enough. It's got to like look good on the inside as well. I like the strips as well. It's got that very like cat-like look. And I add these lights above as well. Here you can see I finally realized the limitations of the solar panel, so I swap it out with a transformer. But I add the spotlights above as well, so it looks like the eyes are lighting up the ground. And then I get a light in the mouth as well. Well, I got a pair of spotlights in the mouth to make it feel like the mouth is glowing. I don't know, it's dope. I don't know. Y'all let me know what you think about the lighting setup. I do some other things as well. I get the trees lit up as well because I think that'll look quite nice. It always looks very nice and ethereal, very magical looking. And then I decide to use the treehouse to be and some of this pathway area to help light up the actual enclosure as well. And I'm actually not done lighting up the tiger either. You'll see in just a moment's time. I go, okay, well, orange is good, but you know what works really well with orange? Answer after the theoretical metaphorical break. First, I get distracted by the inside lighting over here before I forget. And you guys are great for keeping me on task. Many of you mentioned, like, hey, don't forget, we said we're going to do lighting with everything we create now. You're absolutely right. So I got myself get that done. Lit up the sign as well, so Bagraba is nice and bright. And now is when we go back in. And what goes well with orange is blue. Blue and orange, classic color combination. Teal and yellow, it's often referred to in film. But yeah, it gives it a really nice, again, it adds to that magical kind of a look and feel. Because you've got that bright orange, but you've got the cool blue as well to complement it. Literally, they're complementary colors. Oh man, I really like how this, I'm a fan of how this looks. I mean, I hope y'all are as well. I think it's come out pretty nicely. I gotta find a way to light the top of the head though. And you can see in the day, you can see right through that, of course. It's made of glass. All right, folks, that's time-lapse number 1 completed. There's definitely going to be more. That was mainly focused on fixing our sculpture up and getting our name up over here as well. Bagraba. Oh my God, there were so many great suggestions. In fact, you guys were on fire, bringing the heat with name suggestions this time around. We've got some great suggestions for in here as well. So I'm going to go ahead and get them in right now. So first things first, we've got our information center, which, my God, is going to be called the Eye of the Tiger. I can't even with you people sometimes. I love it. Hat's Fantastic is going to be Cat's Fantastic. There we go. Again, beautiful. Mexcellente. Again, for each and every one of these, there were a ton of options, so please don't mind if yours hasn't been picked. This was really tough for me. But Mexcellente is going to be Taiga Masala, or like Tiga Masala, like Tikka Masala, like chicken tikka masala. All right, and then we've got, for the Cosmic Cow milkshakes, we've got, where are we? Right, milk. Hold on. I get it now. Holy cow milk shakes. There we go. Yeah, there were some serious suggestions. Y'all brought the fire this time. But yeah, no, again, I apologize if your name picks didn't get picked. I obviously have to choose, which is the downside of asking for opinions. But man, there's some good names in this plaza over here. So let's see, a couple other things that I may not have touched on. We've got a keeper hut over here. I'm sure I touched this during the time lapse. Got a keeper hut over here. Moved our power generation from up there to down here with a transformer, and I'm pretty sure negative impact is no, of course not. Why did I not realize this? Should have checked this during the time lapse, but it's okay. We can move it further up, like over here, and then we'll still have power everywhere I need it to be. Yes. Yeah, we'll still have power everywhere we need it, and negative impact will not reach the, oh, it will kind of ever so slightly. Ever so slightly. Let's go ahead and exit the group there. and see if we can't, we'll make this work, we'll make this work. Just got to make it fit over here, basically, and we'll be fine. Or over here. I thought I had the right spot already, but I guess not. I was mistaken. All right, come on now. Come on now, you know you want to work. There we go. Can we get a hookup over here? No, it's just the game doesn't like this area. All right, how about over here? And let's see what we can do about negative impact. Let's just check real quick. Didn't expect to get distracted by this. Give me a second here, folks. Hopefully this does the trick. We'll see if people get bothered by this. I mean, maybe. It's right at the edge, though. So we'll see. We'll see what happens. Worst case scenario, we have to flip it to the other side. And we'll take care of that, no problem. Before I forget, let's go ahead and do our work zone over here to India entrance. We're gonna add all of this. We reworked the barrier as well, so that needs to be re-added. Let's go ahead and do this. We've got all of you in here. Yep. Good stuff. Good stuff. And I do believe America's South includes this, as you might have pointed out in the comments. Many of you did. So let's go ahead and clear that. Good stuff. I feel like we're going to actually need another mechanic over here as well. Got a lot of keepers. We've got 2 keepers for India entrance. One that we hired recently. Let's go ahead and upgrade some of these keepers. Train them a little bit. All right, there we go. And I might want to get another. Well, we've got 1 mechanic for India entrance. You know what? Let's get another one just in case. We can afford them. We can afford them right now. So let's go ahead and get you in here, buddy. Reduce your salary a little bit and put you into India entrance. Drop your salary a bit more. And that way we'll make sure all these things are constantly running. We've got a keeper hut here, so it's easier to feed these animals. And we'll be using that same keeper hut to feed the animals that'll end up down over here. On which note, a quick check. The Gharial, GH is for the Gharial. Where are you? Oh, it's got like, there it is. I don't know how I missed that. Critically endangered. It is only in India. If it was in Southeast Asia as well. Well, it's, yeah, I guess it's kind of in Southeast Asia as well. Does this count as Southeast Asia? It's just outside of India, right? Because what I could do is I could put the Gharial down over here as an enclosure you can walk over, or there's also the option of, what was the other animal? Oh, right. This has been requested for a very long time, and I'm pretty sure this will work well. LMNO. There we go. The Komodo dragon. Komodo dragon. Really? No water requirement? They don't really care for water? You're kidding me. Really? I mean, y'all let me know. Would you rather have the Gharial in here or the Komodo dragon? At least the Gharial requires some water, so I guess it makes more sense to put them in here. And then we kind of use them to transition into Southeast Asia. We've got like our India section, and yeah, you know, that works for me. Maybe that's what we'll do. Maybe that's what we'll do. And that way you can, kind of walk over here. We'll add a couple of little islands, and then we'll extend the water and create that little village thing I was talking about, like the fishing village or whatnot. And then what I'm actually thinking is on this side over here, we're going to have either, I say either, but I know what I want to do. I was going to say either the rhino or the elephant. But what I think I want to do is I think I want to do the elephant on this side and have like a nice giant like temple structure or something over here. I feel like that could be pretty cool, and it would continue the India push. Like we could have like a giant temple over here and have a large area for the elephants. I'm sure they require a fair bit of space. If we take a look at, where are we? Indian elephant, I'm sure it's marked under. Yep. Yeah, they needed a fair bit of space, and I'm sure 3 to 30. Oh man. Yes, sure. Let's maybe plan for something like that. So elephants over here with a nice big temple kind of a structure being its monolithic, attraction, and over here we'll have the Gharial. You guys let me know what you think about that in the comments, but that's what I'm leaning towards right now. And then over here, we can have like the Komodo dragon and stuff, because now we're talking about Southeast Asia. And then up over here, we'll have Asia. Over here, don't worry, we will still be adding things as well. I saw some of you mention like, oh, make this like a wooded area or something. I might do, what's it called? I'm looking for the flamingo, but it's not just called the flamingo. Ostrich is African, right? Purely African? Yes. Flamingo, where are you, flamingo? Or hold on, how about the pangolin? Do you have any... You're shy around humans. I'm looking for something that could maybe be a walkthrough exhibit. Hold on, what was I looking for at first again? Completely lost my train of thoughts. My apologies. I was looking for... Oh, right. Flamingo. The greater flamingo. Oh, that's excellent. All right. Okay. Okay, it would fit right in, and I'm sure guests can enter habitat and their neutral relation. All right, so you know what? I think that's what we'll do. So over here, we'll have this a secondary transition into the India region with the flamingos, and then we can make this a nice kind of decorated area. But that's for later. I just wanted to address some of the concerns that I saw in the comments. My apologies. I know many of you say, stop talking about what you plan on doing and just do it, but sometimes you got to talk about what you're planning on doing. Sorry, folks. You gotta. I have to let you know what's in my mind. All right, so we have to hit play for a little bit because unfortunately, when I adjusted the barriers, these animals, quote unquote, escaped. So I can't see any of their details, so I couldn't actually make any adjustments. So we're gonna hit play for just a moment's time. Let them get captured and let them get put back into the habitat, and then we'll hop right back into a time lapse to finish this off, get all the terrain and stuff correctly done, get their feeding and stuff down. I'm just waiting for the game to stop staying frozen. It's frozen right now. There we go. All right, so they've been captured. They'll be unboxed soon enough. Let's also keep an eye on what people are saying about ticket prices. Because... Yeah, no one's complaining yet. This is our new batch. Ticket price is fair. Okay, good. Good. All right, okay. People are saying it's fair, so no need to drop it. Oh, right. Many of you pointed this out, and yet again, I forgot. My apologies, critters. My apologies. Let's go ahead and fix this. That'd be a little bit higher. Now let's get our research going as well for these scorpions. If I go to vet research, we've got the Bengal tiger being researched right now. Right? I'm going to not be able to see it again, will I? Got the forest scorpion as well. Let's go ahead and get... Is anything almost done? You. Let's do that. Just so we can get them some, layout and stuff, make them a little bit happier. Our tigers are back. Perfect timing. Because now I can see their details, what they're happy about, what they're not happy about, and I can also check if they can escape. They cannot escape, so that's good. Now, hopefully, they'll be able to come up there once I have the treehouse all built. Some of y'all pointed out that they're not really climbers per se. They are fans of water, but according to the game, it's neither. We'll figure it out. Hopefully, once we have hard shelter uniquely up there, maybe I'll have to build a climbing platform to let them get up there a bit more easily. But hopefully they'll start using that for hard shelter. Anyway, I think that's all the waiting we have to do. Was there anything else that was super urgent that I had to take care of? Well, right now there is. Let's go ahead and call a mechanic to that. It looks like we've got some offspring coming out as well. Why not make that quick money before we dive into this time lapse, right? This is going to be a time-lapse heavy episode, but I do apologize if, as a result of that, it ends up being a shorter episode. I do lose concept of time when we go on for a while with time lapses. All right, where we're looking at here, we're fine over here. Oh, and to those of you that were asking, so I'm playing the game with a speed factor, I suppose, of 2, which means the aging rate is halved. So for those of you curious about what I'm doing, that's the answer to that question. Looks like we have a couple of babies. Let's not get rid of everybody here, because again, these guys need a slightly bigger crowd, right? So you two, sure. Let's do that. That'll leave 4. That should be enough. Everybody else is doing okay. Everybody else seems to be doing okay. Wow, we're gonna make some good money from this set of trades. Oh my god, we seriously only have 1 Titan beetle. Titan beetles, apparently they die very easily. Let's go ahead and get another Titan beetle. They die very easily, but they also breed very easily. So let's see, what have we got over here? The Titan beetle is on the ground floor, if I'm not mistaken. It is so nice to see a crowd down here. Just it makes me so happy to finally see this being used properly and whatnot. And not just, like, we knew it wasn't being used earlier because there was nothing to see here, but it's nice to see that now that there is something to see here, people are coming through. And also, with regards to temperature, I do have heating that's covering the second floor as well. Heaters work in a radius, so don't worry about the heat on the second floor. Saw a couple of you mention that, but we're good there. We're good there. So let's go ahead and label you as mommy, and then all the way on the other side of our zoo, down over here, forgot to label these guys, so let's go ahead and do that right now. Dia, you are mom, and Gotham, you are dad. All right. So that's that. Let's make that trade, right? In our storage. Oh my god, it's got to be worth a lot. Nice. Almost 10,000. Are you kidding me? Yeah, quick trade that. Nothing else to do with it. Okay, good money made. We're at 120k. People are overall happy. I wonder if I want to play just a little bit and see what people are saying in terms of... Well, we saw what they were saying in terms of zoo price. We're fine. You know what? No. Let's stay on task over here, right? Let's take a moment to appreciate this tiger. Just chilling here. Oh, no. I seem to have paused the game at an opportune moment. This is adorable. Oh, look at that. So cute. I love the little details in the animations. Like, they didn't have to put in a licking the chops animation, but they did. But they did. Anyway, they're probably hungry. Let's go ahead and get everything sorted out over here. We need to do their feeding and stuff, but that'll do outside of a time lapse. I want to get the terrain set up right, and I want to do the treehouse. Let's begin. All right, sorry for that long preamble, but we're in it now, and this is also a very exciting time lapse. I will never get over the level of customization this game affords. So first things first, get the terrain looking and feeling right. Of course, we want to make sure our tigers are happy with what kind of terrain they've got. Second thing is vegetation. So pulling the same like bamboo and just vegetation from the head there to add more vegetation to the actual habitat area, the enclosure area, and adding some more trees as well. It felt a little barren. I wanted to have some more verticality, and I get really dense with the greenery over here, and I realize in hindsight I should do that more often. I really like how this ends up looking with all of that green on the edges there, and then I actually duplicate it and put it to the other side as well. And I just feel like maybe I should do that more now that I'm looking back at it. The zoo could really use some more greenery across the board. But yeah, covering the keeper entrance with our vegetation as well. And I think that's all the time I spend on vegetation and terrain because our animals are happy. Now it's time to work on the treehouse. So I kind of went in blind with the treehouse construction. I didn't know exactly what I wanted to do. I knew I wanted it to be somewhat complicated, but I didn't want to overcomplicate it because I wanted to make sure that our animals could actually get over here, because otherwise it would be very unfortunate. You can see I started by experimenting with some of the India like archway pieces, but I realized that those seem to be made of like stone or something. Didn't really buy it, didn't feel like it would make sense for what we're trying to do. So instead I go back to the East Asia plank pieces because you can change their color. And just using yellow, maybe I should have gone in with orange. We can always tweak it later, but just using a bright color that reflects kind of the standard color of a tiger that doesn't have white, fur. And using that alongside the old planks we had to extend the sleeping area for our tiger. So you can see, next step, I start to make a bit of a roof. It's funny actually looking back, this all changes. Building a roof with these planks and again, trying to stylize it a bit. Again, going in kind of blind, not exactly sure what I wanted this to be and how I wanted it to look overall. So just kind of playing around, moving things around, seeing what seems to work. And then you can see again, looking at some other planks and getting a little inspired by some of these other planks and how they look and how they feel, both in terms of size and shape and color. And it will lead to a pretty big, I'm calling it a redesign is a strong word, but I changed the overall aesthetic. I would say I changed the overall aesthetic of this thing. But yeah, again, you can see just making an adjustment like, you know what, no, let's make this roof longer, and then we can add, I believe I end up adding more bedding up there later. And then I decide, you know what, in case they cannot climb the tree, let's make this more climb friendly. Here you can see I'm swapping, just completely changing the aesthetic, making it a lot more like those climbing platform elements and stuff. Darker browns matches the tree colors. So again, it's a treehouse, and it looks like a bit of a treehouse. It looks to the animal like it might be part of the tree. It looks from the outside like it's a little camouflaged. So I kind of like that. And then over here as well, you can see I'm adding a couple of platforms so my worry was that if the animal can't use the tree to get to the top, then maybe we can create a bit of a play space here so they can use these extra platforms to get to the top. So not only do they serve a purpose, a function, but they're also a bit of a play space because, you know, they can hop back and forth. I don't know. I thought it'd be fun. I would have fun with a play space like this if I was a tiger. I don't know what I'm saying. But yeah, so you can see I decided to add some more bedding as well. Well, I made a mistake. I checked the tiger hard shelter amount when we were paused, and it said 64%, but it's been stuck at 64%. It doesn't update unless you hit play. So that's why I added that extra bedding at the bottom there, because I was like, oh, is this not enough? In hindsight, I should get rid of that so they don't use that. But whatever, it's not the end of the world. Now here I decide, let's extend this a little bit further, make sure there's more room to climb and play, add a bit more bedding up there, because if we have cubs and whatnot, we want to make sure they're able to rest maybe on the lower level. And here you can see I do a quick check to see if I delete everything, does the 64% change? And it does not. That's how I confirm. Anyway, so this now comes the bigger undertaking. So treehouse is cool and all, but why have it be on one tree when you can have it spread across two trees? So we have the main house structure on tree number 1, but on tree number 2 we're going to have another platform. And what I wanted to do was, I don't know, it's a zany idea, but sometimes, you know, you get these ideas, you don't know if they're going to work, but it's still worth trying them out. And if the tigers actually use this, I will lose my mind. But basically, I figured it'd be really cool to have one of those like rickety looking bridges that goes from one end to the other of the, from one tree to the other. It really looks like a fun place to play, I think. It looks like a fun place for a human to play. I hope the animals feel the same way. But yeah, it does cut right across our, Cave of Wonders sculpture kind of thing, but I think it's fine. It's happening high enough that it's not, when you're looking at it from the human eye level, you see from underneath this rickety bridge. So it's a clear view, clear-ish view. So I'm happy with how that looks, and you can see I make one set using those planks from the East Asia, I think, yeah, it's the East Asia section. Make one set, then duplicate them over, and it's just a matter of going in and deleting certain elements so we have gaps, and again, it looks a little bit more rickety. And then I realized that my supports don't really make sense, and off the top of my head, I couldn't picture how one of these like rope bridges actually work, so I just put down more supports, because let's be real, they're tigers, right? They need all the extra physical support they can get when they're climbing across a rickety bridge. So plant it right into the ground and hope that they are able to use it. Over here as well, I add a little bit more to make that top area covered so that the tigers are able to actually hide out from the rain up there if necessary. And then I think that's all I do with the treehouse, but I decided to clean some other things up as well, because there's a lot of work that needs doing with the overall guest experience as well. We need to cover up the pathway over here, and you can see I use a couple different rock pieces to do that. Basically create like a support structure, make it feel or look like it's flush against the ground. It's really weird to me that, yeah, anyway. I was just gonna say, it's kind of strange how the pathing sometimes doesn't want to be flush unless you spend way too much time adjusting it with minutia, but that's besides the point. Just gotta fill in the gap over here, and again, using the rock texture for the terrain helps really kind of blend things together. And again, just trying to find a way to make it like I've got money to spend, but I don't want to waste money. So I'm just trying to find a way to make it work with a blend of both the texture as well as the actual physical rocks. And then, yeah, have this little scoop up into the pathway. Now, I will need to create a fencing situation or something over here as well. We don't want kids running off the path and, nose diving into the tiger pits, but I'll leave that for later. For now, I just want to get some more vegetation up over here. Again, I really like how green this space has ended up looking, and it's something I definitely want to do across the zoo because it does bring things to life and adds a bit of dimensionality. Then I decided to add some lights because, again, supposed to be doing lighting with everything, so we go back into the dark. And I realized I need some more power down over here. Got a solar panel over there. It fits very snugly, very nicely. And we cover it up as well with some of the bamboo vegetation, but unfortunately the solar panel does not have much range, so we will have to add another one later. First though, I decided to put some street lights up over here. I'll be honest, not the biggest fan of how these quote-unquote Indian streetlights look. They don't really look like anything. Maybe I've combined the wrong pieces or something, but they just, I don't know, they're not doing it for me. I used a different piece on the ground level and using, you know, a different piece up over here because I thought it would look nice to have some variety. I don't know, maybe I'll go back in and swap them back out. Just not, they don't look like anything. They don't look like actual lights, you know? Anyway, capping off the pathway over there, and I believe the next step is to, yes, get some bins down because these people are filthy animals, as we've learned multiple times. I just spam the bins. Again, we've got the money. I do not care. Get bins everywhere, get benches everywhere, trying to make sure that we don't suffer from the same mistakes as earlier. So benches, bins, and we've already got ATMs in here. We've got lights now as well. So this area should stay clean. It had better stay clean. And again, you can see just adding some more greenery, get some more vegetation going. Really liking how this has all come together. The big question mark is just, you know, will the Tigers actually use those platforms? Because that's a lot of effort. Here I realized actually that it didn't look physically possible, so I decided to change this up a little bit as well. Just get some more supports in there. I might upgrade the treehouse. If the Tigers end up using the treehouse, I might upgrade it. But y'all let me know what you think about the treehouse as well, and if we should embellish it any further, if that's kind of overdoing it. I don't know. But you can see now, next step is, of course, getting the education boards in. Can't open this section without the education boards in place. So you can see I put them down even where we don't have power, because I'll adjust that later. I changed the colors of not just the donation bin, but also of the toilet block. That one of you suggested I should do that, and I was like, you know what, why not? Why not? Let's make this all Tiger themed. And again, donation bins everywhere. We can afford them. Without donations, we're nothing, so I just got them everywhere, and I put some education boards up over here as well so people can enjoy the Tigers and learn about the Tigers from up over there. Noticed that tooth wasn't in the right spot. Added some ambient speakers as well for the Tigers, and now adding the educational speakers for the humans, the other animals in the zoo. Adjusting, you know, hearing ranges and stuff. Nothing too crazy going on over here. But we do end up putting down another solar panel on the far end there, because that's the only place the path will allow me to put it down. This curved section just refuses to allow an addition there, which is really annoying, even with all the flattening and everything. But we managed to add it at the end, and that powers the education boards and stuff by enough. So, yeah, pretty happy with this Tiger enclosure. But as always, y'all need to let me know what you guys think. So, any suggestions, any thoughts, any feedback, anything, let me know in the comments. But I'm pretty happy with how this has come together. All right, folks, I think that's the second time lapse done. Lots of work done. Of course, like I said, I didn't put down the food or anything because I want to do that in real time. But I want to make sure that their hard shelter gets counted ASAP. That it would be a problem if this doesn't actually count as hard shelter, because then I'd have to find a substitute. I'm hoping this will do the trick. I've maybe made it a little too complicated to get up there, but we'll find out. We'll find out together, folks. Let's go ahead and get their feeding area done. Food tray large. Obviously, got to make sure that our keepers are actually able to reach it. We have to make sure as well, of course, that there is a show to be had. Let's go ahead and pop this down over here so people can. Well, actually, let's go ahead and pop this down over here, maybe? Yeah, let's go ahead over here. That way people can come over here, watch them eat, get excited, and give us lots and lots of money. That'll be great. And let's put another feeding area maybe down over by here, perhaps. That way we can get some people over there. I don't think people will be going there as often just quite yet at the beginning. But sure, why not? Let's go ahead and do that. What else do we know about the Tiger? What do we know about the Tiger? Bengal Tiger specifically. We know it likes sprinklers, fire hose balls, cardboard boxes, these sacks, okay, piñata enrichment. Oh no, that's horrifying. Okay, well, let's make sure it's enriched, right? So nutrition and all will be taken care of, right? Enrichment, right? So habitat, enrichment items. We have got the piñata enrichment. That is both adorable and horrifying. Go ahead and drop you down over. Are you flat? Yeah, you're flat. Okay, let's go ahead and put you down over here. Again, bit of a show from know, from over here, but also from up over here. You can see the animal having a good time, all right? And that's our food enrichment done. Let's go ahead and take a look at the sprinklers as toy enrichment. Put one down over here. Put another one down over here, perhaps. There we go. I need to do their temperature as well, because they have climate requirements. Put another sprinkler down over here. Oh, the sprinklers really don't do much for them, do they? I could mix and match. I got a prey-scented sack as well. Add it like down over here, perhaps. Or let's see if we can't convince them to get up over here. Let's try it. Let's try it, right? How much does that help? That's 100%. All right, cool. Yeah, they really like that toy. Okay. Once we hit play, hopefully it'll recalculate the hard shelter and we'll find out we do in fact have enough. That would be ideal. They have an area to drink water from and that water is being purified. Yes, correct. Excellent. They've got food, they've got enrichment, they've got everything right. Temperature. We got to make sure we've got the right temperature. I almost broke out into Sean Paul there. That was that was an almost. All right, let's go ahead and take a look at their climate requirements. 12 to 40. Okay. Well, this is the India region, so 40 is suitable. Let's go ahead with a nice balmy 35, though. I think that'll be reasonable. So let's go ahead with the habitat, and we want to make sure that the path and stuff is heated up as well. So I'm feeling pretty good about how this has all come together. Go ahead and put... I don't want to heat this. Let's see. Okay, so if I go ahead and put some heaters over here, right? Let's go ahead and set you up right away to 35, let's say. All right. We'll duplicate a bunch of these, get them set up across the edge. That way the path is also heated and people will appreciate that. Like the actual humans will appreciate that. And then let's go ahead and get our heating set up over here as well. Because when the winter comes through, they are not going to like the cold at all. At all. So let's go ahead and make sure all this is nicely warmed up. Right, there we go. Let's go ahead and put... Whoa, what happened there? Zoomed right out. The camera sometimes decides to act a little funky, doesn't it? Now let's put a little bit of heating in the mouth over here as well. All right. Really, really happy with how the lighting and stuff has turned out as well. I'm really happy with this overall enclosure. I think there's still... I think I've said this before, nothing's ever completely done. There's always more work to do. So I'm sure that I will eventually come back and do a little bit more tweaking and stuff. But for now, at least, I am very happy with how we've got everything laid out, how everything looks and feels. It's got the overall feeling that I was going for. It's just a matter of, you know, do the tigers use the treehouse? Because if they don't, then, well, they'll still be fine. They'll still be fine. That's a little much. But it won't be exactly what I wanted. So hopefully they do use the treehouse. Get a little bit of heating back over here as well. I think we've got good coverage. I wish you could actually see coverage areas. We'll figure it out. We'll figure it out. Let's go ahead and hit play, I think. Again, see if things recalculate, see how the animals actually interact with the area, and see how people interact with the area as well. Like, this is an entire... Not only is it a new animal, but it's an exciting new animal as well. It's the Bengal tiger. You know, it's extremely endangered. In the real world, there are a lot of attempts at... you know, re-establishing their homes that they've lost. So, you know, there's a lot to love about the Bengal tiger, and hopefully our guests, well, hopefully they do love all there is to love. Looks like hard shelter is at 100%. Okay, good. So that should mean that you are able to, yes, okay, good. You can climb, you can climb, you can climb, and you can rest over here. Maybe a little too densely packed, perhaps. Maybe what we want to do is move things around a little bit. All right, if I just shift you over slightly, we want to make sure that they can kind of move in there, right? Do that. I do have sound effects as well. You can hear them. They were freaking me out for a second. I was like, what is that? All right, come on, tiger buddy. Let's see. So yeah, you can come up over here. You can come up over here. This is a little too tight. Maybe this is a little too low, perhaps. Gotta make these adjustments while we're live, eh? Whoa, 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 whoa. Hold on. I don't want to miss this. The first little swim in this pool. Man, That's dope. Now, some of you were suggesting doing an underground viewing area as well so that people can watch them swim. I might do that as well. I didn't want to overcomplicate this session, but I could implement something like that. Have like our path separate or loop back in from this side and go through and get a view from this very intimate angle. I really like this. I really like how this entire area has worked out. You know what we could actually do is we could... I see we have an inspector in here. Hopefully they have nothing but compliments. We could get water, like if we get, not a jet, though I could do like waterfalls here as well. Oh, it's so easy to get overly ambitious. We could just do something like this maybe. There we go. Pull you back a little bit. I'll do something like that. Making the large jets. All right, hold on. How about we do this? Right? Let's not go large. Let's go medium. Not perfect. Not exactly what I had in mind. There we go. Okay, that's better. That's better. We just do kind of this kind of a thing. Just to cover this area up a little bit. There we go. Feeling good. Feeling good. Oh, it's starting to rain. Alright, so we do that, and then I could do like this kind of a thing over here. How is this projecting? Weirdly. Very weirdly. I want you to face that way? That way. Something like this. You get what I'm going for, though. There we go. It's not exactly what I wanted. All right, we'll deal with that later. I want to keep an eye on these tigers right now while it's raining. Are they going to go for their hard shelter? Wow. The father Titan beetle has died. Man. Animal is stressed. These guys are not having a good time. What, too crowded? It says be quiet, people. It says be quiet. In a box for too long. Let's unbox you. I guess it just got really busy there for a second. Alright. Frame rate is having a hard time. Alright, people are coming through over here. Let's go ahead and get a couple more donation bins. We've got the money to spam these things out now. So I have zero shame. Go ahead and donate. Come on, I just want to see them climb. I just want to see them climb. They can get up there. They can get all the way supposedly up there. They can't get up here, it looks like. Looks like. I wonder what it would take to bait them up there, though, is the thing. That's what I wonder. If there is any way to convince them, so to speak. Oh, we've got some blind spots with our heaters. Go ahead and fix that up, shall we? What are you? You're a sprinkler. Okay. Go ahead and get you somewhere down over here. Cover this area up. Yeah, good coverage. And let's get another one down over here. That should cover everything up. That should heat everything right up. Come on. Come on. Climb, damn it. You know you want to. It's good to know that they can. They're not well for habitat. Because this means they can't climb here. Like, it doesn't have the green grid. That means it's inaccessible. So that means this implies they can climb here. If they want to play with this thing, they should be able to come up here, here, and I guess up there directly from here. Then up there, then up there. And they're able to actually go across this bridge that I've made them, which is... when I was making that, I was really worried that it was kind of a waste of time, that they wouldn't be able to use it. But they're able to use it. They are able to use it. Okay. I just have to keep an eye peeled on them to make sure they actually do. What else have we got going on? Oh, I don't want to click away because... Are you gonna? No, you're not gonna. Come on. Come on. Whoa. Frame rate just dropped there with the crowd we have going. More offspring, more guests coming through, more people buying more stuff. We're almost at 110K. This is wild. Hearing the puppies yelp, trying to ignore them as I go through and look for our Titan beetles. Looks like we still have... it's going to be a little bit of inbreeding, but, you know, not the end of the world when it comes to beetles and stuff. Tortu Galapagos, no! Juan, what happened to you? Why are you so upset, buddy? Mercedes, good name. Juan, which one's Juan? Well, you're in perfect conditions. What? Yo, this inspector is just out to get me. Over to Habitat 17. I'm sorry, it's not Habitat 17. I should have renamed it sooner. It's bankrupt. What a great, God, what a name. Bankrupt. There we go. There we go. All right. Have the tigers climbed? They have not. They're still kind of chilling down over here. Again, I wonder if this is too high and if they're just not going to bother. I mean, if we had some apes or something, they would do this no problem, right? There would be no hesitation about them climbing this and goofing around and having a good time. But maybe we've overextended ourselves. But hey, at least we know this kind of works for the for animals in general. Now, are people coming up over here? Not quite yet. And why are we unpowered over here? I thought we had power. We do have power. Oh, I see. I forgot to set you. That'll do the trick. Let's go ahead and also get our facilities. We want some more speakers in here. Get you over here. Again, teaching about the Bengal tiger. Now let's get you duplicated off to this side as well. Got to make sure there's like no or at least minimal overlap. Reduce the volume a little bit, I guess. And we can shift it in ever so slightly. There we go. Now this is something that I was meaning to fix, but we can do that later as well, like hiding the poles over here. There's a couple different ways to do it. I could like build a roofing element. I could build canopies and stuff, but just didn't want to distract myself with that currently. Yeah, we got lots of people coming up over here. Hopefully getting a good view. Super excited. Need the toilet. There's washrooms right in here. I need an umbrella. You can buy one in here. All right, good stuff, good stuff. Let me just quickly get some of our... Oh, that was a mistake, but for the better, I guess. What I meant to do was go to staff and get some more of our staff leveling up. Some of these keepers definitely need leveling up. So many new ones that we've just pulled through, eh? It's good to see us back. It's like sort of a full force as well, a full workforce, so to speak. I do need more security guards, especially now that we have our tavern where people are going to get rowdy. All right, there we go. And what with our staff room perk, hopefully people will be able to level up a little bit faster. Higher level vendors are extremely helpful. Make guests happier. Good stuff. All right. And our vets, I think, we're fine with the vets. Oh man, I'm so glad I checked. God damn, I missed it. I missed it. Oh, I missed it. I'm so upset. Man, I wanted to see the first climb. Ah, but we know they come up here. Oh, look at that adorable baby just taking a little nap. Man, that is... Between this thing having climbed into the treehouse and the ear wiggles, I don't know what I'm more excited about. I don't know what I'm more excited about. That is just absolutely amazing. Oh, that's so cool. That's so cool. It works. I literally, I can't say, I know I'm a broken record right now, but I have nothing else to say. I'm so happy. This game brings so much joy sometimes. Oh man. I'm so happy. Getting some more toys for the tigers, perhaps? Yeah, good stuff. Helps the education rating and stuff as well. I want to see them get down. I want to see if they can get down. I don't want to, like... I don't know how long it'll be before that tiger wakes up, but I also don't want to miss, you know... Oh! Wait, how did you get up there? How did you get up there? Buddy! How did you get up there? They're having their first household argument. Maybe they just used the tree. Didn't even care for all the platforms and stuff that I made. Possible. Quite possible. Look at the view from up here as well. And I wonder, actually, if I'm in the eye here. Ah. A little too far. A little too far. I wonder, do I want to make the adjustment and move these trees and stuff over? Whoops. Oh my god, what a mess. This camera. Because like you kind of like lean and you'd kind of be able to see them, but I don't know. Do I want to make that adjustment? And now the game might not understand these viewpoints, but you know, we as people do. We as people do. Man. I'm very pleased. Trying to see what the tiger sees as well from up over here. I'm very pleased. Making money. I want to hit 110k. I don't think that'll be a problem. I should change the ambient sound over here. This doesn't sound very suitable. Alright, that's adorable. Hey, now I actually have a reference to compare with. Even though that's a yawn, not a roar, I have a reference that I can compare one-to-one with. Anyway, sorry, I'm getting distracted. I'm elated. I literally lost all focus because this has worked. I'm so happy. All right, let's go ahead and get you your layout upgrade as well, so you're feeling good like I'm feeling good. We've already said hello to everybody, I believe. Yes, got our conservation credits. You know, one thing that I should have checked. I don't know if I want to check. I don't know if I want this to be. I want to be hit by a downer right now. But some of you noticed something, which might be a problem. Damn. Had to end on a low note. Yeah, I didn't notice that they were from the same zoo. They're actually from the same litter. So this would be inbreeding. Now, what I can do is I can get. I want a pair of white Bengal tigers, though. How much of a risk is one generation of inbreeding? That's the other question, right? How much of a risk is one generation of inbreeding? It's not the end of the world. Again, I'm going to bring up the Spanish Habsburgs. They did it for a couple generations. Or a more pop culture reference, you know, the Lannisters, you know, they were fine for a generation. No, but in all seriousness, how bad could one step be? Oh, I don't know. You know what, folks? I'm gonna end things on a high-ish note. We'll talk about our inbreeding situation over here. We'll try and figure that out. But for now, I'm happy that they're using their treehouse. Gloomy as the weather might be, they're using their treehouse, and that is really something special. Wow, it is really gloomy, actually. Folks, I don't know for certain. Don't know for sure if I'll be doing a Sunday episode. If we do, perhaps we'll take care of the India entrance area, get the plaza done and everything. But again, not a guarantee that it'll be a Sunday special. But if there is, it'll be at 10 a.m. Eastern time. I'll try and get one done, but again, it might not happen because there's a lot of other stuff going on behind the scenes with the channel right now that you'll see the fruits of within hopefully the month of January. But I will try my best to get a Sunday episode out, which is just a time lapse of us finishing off some of the construction work. But yeah, folks, I hope you enjoyed this episode. I think I covered all the bases that I was supposed to cover. Hopefully I didn't miss anything important and urgent, because that would be a problem. Looking at my notes doesn't seem to be the case. Right. Well, I hope you enjoyed the session today, folks. If you did, you know what to do. Let me know by leaving a like and a comment down below. As always, it makes a massive difference in how I approach content on the channel. A big old thanks goes out to all of my channel members and patrons for supporting the channel on a monthly basis. You keep us alive and running smoothly, and a massive thanks goes out to each and every one of you for watching. Until next time, cheers.